The war in Ukraine is the best documented in history, with online analysts getting high-resolution imagery of the action practically as it happens. While this is a very selective view, we only see what one side or the other wishes to share. Certain aspects can be explored in forensic detail. Close examination of Russian tank losses has turned up an anomaly. Hardly any of the modern T-90A tanks have been destroyed, indicating this type has not been widely deployed in Ukraine. What happened to Russia's modern tanks, and do they even exist? Ever since the Cold War, Russia has lacked the money to field a completely modern tank fleet. The armored force consists of a variety of older types, modernized to a greater or lesser extent, with a small elite force of modern tanks, including the T-90A. Russia should have a lot of T-90s. There should be 120 original T-90 and 369 T-90 as including subvariants, open-source analyst Richard Verreker told me. But only 34 T-90s have been lost, and only 3 of them after March 2023. So where have they gone? Modern is a relative term. The T-90s were built between 2004 to 11, so some are a couple of decades old, but they are a distinct improvement on the older T-80s and T-72s, and T-62s and even T-55s, that Russia is now pushing forwards. It seems Russia is fighting with its second, third and fourth best. Verreker contrasts the T-90A numbers with Russia's T-80s, where the majority of the original fleet can be accounted for, including over 50% destroyed. But we are simply not seeing a corresponding proportion of the T-90 as in images of burned-out armor. It is certainly not because they are invulnerable. The T-90A is not quite the most modern tank in service. That honor goes to the upgraded version, the T-90M, which did not appear in the initial invasion, but started appearing, and getting knocked out, from April 2022 onwards. T-90Ms are regularly knocked out by artillery, missiles and even FPV kamikaze drones. Fewer than 200 T-90Ms have been built, and some 49 are known to have been lost in Ukraine, or around 25%. The T-90s are less well protected, but only about 7% of the supposed fleet have shown up destroyed. Verreker produces graphs and charts of Russian vehicle losses by type, using figures from the Warspotting site, whose numbers are similar to the more famous Oryx analysis of Russian losses. The changes over time generally show how the modern vehicles in the first wave of the invasion are gradually fading out, and a greater percentage of the casualties are older tanks and personnel carriers. But the T-90A numbers do not add up. 50 of the original T-90s are known to be in a storage facility, says Verreker. But even taking the best estimates and allowing for all possible missing vehicles, he says, we are still missing 217 T-90As. Verreker sought answers from the collective wisdom of his Twitter, X followers and carried out a poll on the most likely explanation. Almost 1,300 readers voted on the issue.